Alright, so I'm gonna go over some vocab here. We're just starting the surface area and volume unit. So I'll just go over like how we name 3D shapes, and then I'll go over how to find the surface area and volume of a rectangular prism. Okay? So, what is a solid? Just a 3D shape. A polyhedra, it's not like I use that vocab a lot, but it's just a solid formed by polygons. So if you remember, the classifications for a polygon is that there's no curves. So like a sphere or a hemisphere would not be considered a polyhedra. The difference between prism and pyramid is pretty important to remember, or just to know, which you could probably figure out what a pyramid is if we start there. But a pyramid has one base and then like a pointy top. So it doesn't necessarily have to, like the base doesn't have to be like a square or a triangle, but just the fact that it has a pointy top makes it a pyramid. A prism has two bases. It's like two congruent shapes connected by parallel lines. So those shapes could be any shape, right? Could be a rectangle, it could be a triangle, it could be a hexagon. But sometimes I like refer to it as like a rectangle sandwich or like a triangle sandwich or something, because it's two bases that are the exact same shape and then they're connected by parallel lines. So for example, in this shape right here is a hexagonal prism, okay? Because the bases have 6 sides, which makes it a hexagon. The bases are congruent and they're just connected by these parallel lines. So that's what makes it a prism. This blue shape here, if you look at the base, there are 6 sides, so it's another hexagon, but this time because of the pointy top, it's a pyramid. Hexagonal pyramid. Okay? Just some vocab for you. So let's go over how to find the surface area and volume of this shape. Normally in class, we would also go over the lateral area, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Sweet and simple. It's not a thing. Just do surface area and volume. Okay, so if you want to fill in these values, first of all, for your shape, so the height, h is 5 centimeters, the width is 6 centimeters, and the length is 22 centimeters. Okay. So first of all, if you just Googled or like just looked up the formula for the surface area of a rectangular prism, you might get this, or I think on the formula sheet in class it was like something like this. So you might see one of those. When I'm teaching this though, I'm like, listen, let's just think about it logically, and let's not introduce another formula that we have to try and remember. Okay, even if you would use a formula sheet, sometimes the formulas can get confusing just because of all the variables and figuring out what the base is and all of that. Now, just as an FYI, in this particular shape, this rectangular prism, any one of these sides could technically be the base, so it wouldn't really matter if you made like this guy the base or you considered this guy the base. Like if you were using this formula, wouldn't matter, you'd get the same thing. But I like to just think about it as just finding the area of all the rectangles in this shape and just adding it up, right? Because the surface area is just the area of all the sides added together. So this is what I do. I just draw out the shapes that we have, right? We've got these two rectangles that almost look like a square. And then we have the rectangles that are on the top and the bottom, and the rectangles that are on the sides. I just find the area of those rectangles and I add it together, okay? Could not be simpler. So, for this rectangle, 5 times 6 is the area, but there's 2 of them, so that would be 60. And then, make sure you can see this. For the guy on the top, 6 times 22 is the area of that rectangle, but we got 2 of them, so I gotta double it. That's 264. And the last rectangle, the one on the sides, is 5 by 22. And there's 2 of those, so I multiply by 2. And then I just add all this together. 544 centimeters squared, because you're finding the area. So that's it. Okay. And then the volume, I feel like everybody knows this volume formula. They'll just throw it, like, I could be asking for something totally different. And some kid will be like, oh, is that length times width times height? And I'm like, no, that's the volume of a rectangular prism. So here's your chance to use it. 5 times 6 times 22. 660 centimeters cubed. You have to cube your units when you're finding the volume. So that's it. Ladies and gents, that's how easy it is to find the surface area and volume of a rectangular prism. Thanks for watching.